Hello, I'm Sophie D'Souza and welcome to my channel Sophie Stained Glass, the kind of channel I wish there had been when I started stained glass. So hope you find the videos useful. Somebody has asked me to make a video today about strengthening bars, also known as saddle bars or strengthening rods or steel rods. And these are steel rods that you use to give additional strength to your windows after they've been installed. The general rule of thumb is that if it's going into a door and it's of any size at all, sort of, bigger than a foot wide and maybe 2 or 3 feet high, you need a bar. You need at least one bar in the middle, and possibly you need 2 bars spaced a foot apart. And that's because of the kind of velocity that opening and closing a door uses and the extra stress that it will put on your windows. If your windows are going in next to the door, you can go 2 foot by 2 foot and not need a strengthening bar, so long as you're in a fairly sheltered spot. I mean, wind and rain blasting against a window will do it no good at all, but mostly front doors are in porches, so that does protect them a bit. I apologise for the amusing dog sound effects. If you are putting panels in a long window, you need to have at least every 18 inches you need to have a strengthening bar. And if you are putting panels into a long window, and so they are made in 2 sections, maybe 3, where your panels meet and one is overlapping the one beneath, you will need a saddle bar, and they will need to be tied to your windows. And when there's 2 panels, you solder one tie on the top and one on the bottom. So in case you didn't realise, you will need to use copper wire to tie the bar to the window so that it's doing as much good as it possibly can, because you are butting the steel bar against your window, but you want to protect it in both directions, so you tie them. And I will put links below showing you how to solder your ties on, and I will put a link below showing how to fit a strengthening bar. So you use steel bars. 6mm would be normally what I would put in a domestic job. Sometimes in church windows you might use an 8mm bar because you've got a deeper recess and you're generally spanning a wider width, which will clearly need a slightly more robust rod. You could maybe go down to 5mm, but you don't want to lose the strength by reducing the diameter. What else can I say about strengthening bars? If in doubt, fit a bar, because belt and braces, there's no harm in it. And like I say, in a front door, it really will increase the longevity of your panel massively. It's worth noting that when you do go to measure up for a window, there will be a lock on the door, and you need to make sure you don't put your rod where that lock is, because the wood will be weaker where the lock is, and you won't be able to, possibly won't be able to actually fit the rod. So just make a note of the lock. Just take the bar straight across, straight. There are occasions when you may feel it's worth, for a sort of artistic piece, getting somebody to bend your bar for you. And I used to have a blacksmith that did this for me. Didn't need it very often. I would give her a template of the window, take a rubbing basically, and she would bend the bar so it followed the curve of my line. And there is actually in my bathroom window, I got her to do that. I don't know where she's gone now. She seems to have disappeared from the area. But it's not something I do very often, because generally you put a steel bar in And you know, maybe you're thinking it's going to detract from the beauty of the window. Well, it won't. People are very used to reading stained glass windows and they ignore the structural elements and they just see the beauty of the design you've made. So don't worry about that too much. And always solder your ties to a place where there is already a soldered joint, because that will be stronger because there's solder there, and it will also mean you won't risk fracturing some of the glass, because that's where there will be a little flexibility. As you know, lead will never go completely stiff. It will always have a little movement in it, so it will be more forgiving when you're tightening up those ties, and it will be more forgiving actually when the wind blows the window against the steel rod. So I think I've covered everything. If I haven't, just ask me a question, put a comment down below, and I'll be happy to help. Thank you for watching, and please like, comment and subscribe.